Hey eBay sellers, it's Suzanne A. Wells. Thank you for coming back for another video. And I want to talk to you about what to do when you are out of free eBay listings. I see a lot of you getting in your own way on this and just wanted to give you some perspective and get you to look at the big picture on this issue. Because this issue comes up at least weekly, more like daily on my Facebook group, in emails, or even in the YouTube comments. And it's when sellers are not listing items because their free listings ran out or eBay isn't offering a free listing special. And I see a lot of you out there, especially new people or those of you trying to really turn this into a business, who are really getting in your own way on this issue. And the way I'm seeing it is you've done the work, you've bought these great items, and they're just sitting there not getting listed and not making money for you, not working for you. And it's like a waste. It's a waste of your time, and you're delaying what could be money making opportunities because you are stuck on the fact that your listings aren't going to be free. Some of you aren't listing items because it may cost you 20 cents if you have a store, 30 cents if you don't, to list that item. And this really is a case of you are getting in your own way. When I see comments or threads on Facebook or YouTube about my sales are slow, what can I do to get more sales? I need to make more money on eBay. I want to turn this into a business. And then we start talking and you're not leveraging the power you have when you run out of free listings and you just stop. Okay? And this is very self-defeating behavior. You're giving away your power when you say, well, I have to pay 20 cents for a listing, so I'm not going to post this item. And eBay is a platform that has unlimited opportunity. The more you do, the more you're going to make, as long as you're doing it correctly. But when you're letting something as simple as 20 or 30 cents stop you from selling something, that is not a good business decision. I mean, think about the access you have. There's no barriers to entry on eBay unless you've been on it before, you violated policies, and you've been suspended and kicked off. But otherwise, anybody can come to eBay and sell stuff. And it's a huge free market, and there's unlimited opportunity. Millions of people all over the world buy on eBay. So it just kind of blows my mind that you're letting these little 20, 30-cent listing fees stop you. So this is called tripping over dollars to pick up pennies. You're not seeing the big picture. You're worried about 20, 30 cents, and it's stunting your growth as a seller. It's limiting you as far as revenue producing opportunities. And so let's see if we can't help you get past that mindset. But I am just shocked at how many people don't list inventory because they use the excuse, my free listings ran out. And it really is an excuse. It's just, I don't know if it helps bolster procrastination. Like maybe you don't want to list anymore, you don't feel like it, so you say, oh, I don't have any more listings left. I just can't seem to figure out the psychology behind it. But you just, if you're going to let a small fee, 20 or 30 cents, stop you from making hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars, eBay may not be for you. If you just think about the unlimited potential of eBay, yes, it may be limited if you can only list a certain number of items, but when you max that out, eBay gives you more. I've never heard of a person who has been working their business, meaning listing as much as they're allowed to, shipping on time, giving great customer service, doing all the things they're supposed to do, and when they asked for a limit increase, eBay said no. And they may say not yet. They may say you have to have 100 sales first, or give you some kind of criteria you have to meet before your listing limit can be raised. But that's really the only limitation on eBay is those limits that are imposed, and usually that's for newer sellers, and if you just work the business, those limits will be raised. So let's look at this from a mathematical standpoint. Yeah, it wouldn't be a Suzanne video if we did not do some math and some analyzing of numbers. But what you can do is go to this site called New Life Auctions. Just Google that and it'll come up. And it's not an eBay site, but it is an independent person who has put together this calculator. And you can enter all the information about your item to see what your fees are going to be, what your net profit's going to be, all of that. So you choose your listing format, whether it's auction, fixed price, or store, if you're using any listing upgrades, if you're top rated and get a fee discount, what category you sell in, all of that. And so it gives you a pretty close answer to what your profit per item is going to be, and that's what we're going to look at in this video. So scenario number 1, and I bet raise your hand or give me a comment below if this is you. You have 50 items lying around that you paid about $3 for. So that's just the scenario we're going to do for the math. And I would imagine that's quite a few of you. If it is, I want you to put a comment below that says, yep, that's me. And so if we look at the big picture, that's $150 of your hard-earned money that you've spent on inventory that's sitting there doing nothing. Okay? If you listed those 50 items with a maximum of 30 cents listing fee per item, let's say you don't have a store, so you're going to be charged 30 cents per item, your cost would be $15 in fees up front as listing fees, okay? Not final value, but listing fees. So if you think about it, that's $15 to reach millions of buyers who may even have an alert set up for that item. Some of them could have an alert, meaning they've done a search for an item and they have saved that search, and when items matching that search keywords are posted, they get an email from eBay that says this has been listed, and the person can go to your listing and purchase or do a best offer on the item if you have it set up that way. So that's 15 bucks. That's like the cost of a pizza, or a few gallons of gas, or in some places a movie ticket. That's like nothing, okay? And that's $15 to reach millions of buyers who might buy your item. And let's say that you listed those items at just $10 each, which is very low, but just for the sake of demonstration, we're going to use that number. So here we plug that into the calculator, and we see that if we do the listing format of fixed price with no store, the item cost was $3, the buy it now price was $10, and then we go over here to the red section and we look at how the numbers play out. The net profit would be $5.11. And I know some of you are saying, well, I would never sell an item for just $10 if I paid $3 for it. This is just humor me here with this example. So your net profit on those items is $5.11. When all 50 of those items sell, which could be, it's an unknown time frame, your total profit's going to be $255.50. Okay, but let's say 10% of those items sell within the next month, which would be 5 of those 50 items. Then your profit's going to be $51.11. So in thinking of the big picture, why would you let $15 stand in the way of you making over $250 with your eBay business? That does not make sense, okay? Now, keep in mind that eBay fees aren't due for the previous month until the 15th of the following month. At least that's the way mine are set up. I don't know if that's for everybody, but you can check your account statements to see when eBay bills you. I normally get a bill for the month previous around the 1st. So like this is March. Around April 1st, I'm going to get a bill for what I owe for all of my eBay fees, which includes listing fees if I had any, final value fees, my store subscription fee, and then any rebate I get for top rated, all of that stuff is on the statement. So that does not come right away. You don't have to pay that the moment you list your item. It's not deducted from your account. PayPal is. When you get a payment from a buyer into your PayPal account, the fees are deducted at that moment within that transaction. You will see how much PayPal gets. But eBay doesn't do it that way. So while you will incur the listing fees, they won't be charged until later, and you have time to make sales to generate the revenue to pay those fees. So you have a grace period to pay your fees. So basically what I'm saying is if you run out of free listings on the 20th, you won't be billed for any additional listings you have to pay for until the following month on the 15th. So you get your eBay statement, or at least I do. I get it around the 1st, and it says your eBay fees are due, but they give you a grace period of 2 weeks. So you don't actually have to pay them until that grace period is up. So that gives you more time to sell more things to cover that cost. If that's what you're worried about, if that's why you're not paying for listings, because believe me, I've been there when I didn't have $15, but it's an accounting thing. So you have a grace period to pay that. And if you don't list, you can't sell. So you have some extra time there, some lag time to make sales to cover the cost of those listing fees if you have to pay them. Now let's do another example. Let's say you shop at the Goodwill outlet and get items for around $1 each. You have run out of free listings and have 25 items to list, and you paid $1 for each one. Now you're pricing those items at about $15 each. Okay, so that's still a pretty low price for eBay. So I'm speaking to those of you who are new, or you do this as a hobby, or you just work within those lower price points and work on volume. And let's say you have a basic eBay store, so your listings will cost 20 cents each because you've run out of free listings. Okay, so here's the math. We're going to choose a store under the listing format, and it goes to the basic store here. Your buy it now price is $15. Shipping and handling, shipping is just a wash because you're either going to be doing calculated shipping or charging a flat rate. I'm not a fan of the free shipping, so I've got another video about that you can watch. And your item cost was $1. So we look over here in the red section at how the numbers play out. We see that your net profit per item is $11.71. Okay? When all those 25 items sell, your total profit's going to be $11.71 times 25, which is $292.75, so just shy of $300. So even if only 20% of those items sold, which would be 5 items, your profit would be $58.55 in this scenario. So why would you let $5 stand in the way of making almost $300? That does not make sense. You are missing opportunities. You are getting in your own way when you're letting $5 prevent you from making that kind of money. Think about it like this. Let's say you run a cupcake store, a lot of those around, and you have all your ingredients. You've already paid for them. You got your flour and your sugar and your eggs. You've got everything. You've got it's all stocked and ready to go, but you don't want to turn on the oven because that costs money and you don't want to have to pay that electric bill. Well, then you can't run your business. So, I mean, the fees are part of this business. Sometimes it takes money to make money. And when you are out buying inventory actively and not listing it, that's not a business. That's called shopping. And yeah, I get it. We all like to shop. It's so much easier to find things than it is to list things. But you've already paid the money for your inventory. By not leveraging the platform and not listing these things, even at a 20 to 30 cent cost, you're crippling your business. And you're your own enemy here. It's not about slow sales. It's not about what's wrong with eBay. It's not about, it's not fair. eBay doesn't like sellers. It's about you're getting in your own way. Okay, so let's do another one with bigger numbers, and this is the last one. But this may speak to some others of you that have even more inventory lying around. Let's say you have 100 items that you paid $3 each for. Maybe you went on a big shopping spree, over a couple of days, and you've got a whole bunch of stuff, but oh no, your free listings have run out. And you have a basic store, so your listings will cost 20 cents each because you've run out of free listings. So your investment in inventory is $300. You've already shelled that out, whether you paid cash, put it on a credit card that is then going to start charging you interest, or whatever you did. Your inventory investment is $300, and your investment in listing fees will be 20 bucks. 20 cents times 100 items. And let's say that your average selling price is $25. Okay, so here's the numbers. We've got the listing format is store, the basic store. Your item cost is $3. Your buy it now price is $25. Shipping is a wash. When we go over here to the red section and see how the numbers play out, the net profit is $18.52 in this scenario when you've got an item you paid $3 for and you sold it for $25. Now, you've got 100 of those items. So when all 100 of those sell, however long that's going to take, your total profit is $1,852. Okay? So even if only 5% of those items sold over the next, 3 weeks until you get your eBay statement, your profit is going to be $92.60 just on 5 items of those 100 selling. So why in the world would you let $20 stand in the way of making that much money? It does not make sense. And as Ross Geller says, why would you do that? So I'm going to be outspoken here and say that those of you using the excuse of I am out of free listings, you are being foolish with your business. This is called being penny wise and pound foolish. That means that you're very careful about small money matters, but careless about large ones. And you're not seeing the big picture of how refusing to pay 20 or 30 cents per listing is affecting your business. You've got to get past that. And I guarantee you that if you just suck it up and do it, you're going to see a difference in your business. I'm sad to say that if 20 or 30 cents per item is stopping you from working your business, growing your business, then eBay is not for you. There's something wrong with your business if that's the case. If you don't have an extra $15 or $20 to allocate towards paying these listing fees, there's a problem in your business. So the answer to the comment, I am out of free listing, is so what? Who cares? Keep listing. You cannot make money unless you keep listing. And if you have to pay 20 or 30 cents per listing, the rewards are going to be so much greater than that investment. It doesn't make sense not to. So I would really like to hear your input on this of why. Why are you not paying these very small listing fees? And why is this such a big deal? Because I don't understand it. It's not an excuse to me. It's an excuse. I mean, it's not a valid reason. Especially when you're sitting on inventory. When you've got stuff sitting there that could sell in 5 minutes, you're never going to know until you list it. You're never going to know if somebody's got an alert on it. It could sell in an hour, it could sell in a day or a week or longer. So the only way you're going to know is to list it. So I am done with my rant now. I'm just seeking to understand the rationale behind paying these listing fees, because it's connecting you with millions of people who are going to buy your item, and there's no other way to sell it. You have to list it. So I encourage you to go to New Life Auctions and check out the calculator there. Plug in some numbers and see what you're missing out on. And please share this video in your groups with other sellers when you see them say they're not listing because they're out of free listings, because there's really there's really no excuse for that. eBay has made this so affordable. They do a lot of the work for us, connecting us with buyers all over the world, and it just doesn't make any sense to not take advantage of the platform, even if you have to pay a little bit. So please comment below, even if you disagree. I'd really love to hear from you and hear your side of this. Thanks for watching, and have a profitable and productive day on eBay. Bye.